Okay, best new thing in the world today. Although you will not see the billionaire Koch brothers or Sharon Engel or somebody carrying a sign demanding the president's birth certificate or demanding the repeal of health reform. What is happening on your screen right now is the Tea Party. The Tea Party, as in the Canadian rock and roll band that named itself the Tea Party back in 1990. They reportedly pioneered a Middle East fusion thing called Moroccan roll. True. They are not about politics at all. They are about selling records. And way back in 1993, Tea Party the band bought this website, teaparty.com. Today, the band's website, teaparty.com, is thought to be worth something like $1 million maybe on the open market. And that's, of course, because of politics. The bass player from the band, Stuart Chatwood, says so much damage has been done to their good name by the name of the political movement that has the same name even though they have no association. He says, quote, Tea Party was a euphemism the beat poets used for getting high and writing poetry and vibing with each other. As Canadians, we're somewhat sensitive to all the criticism of socialized medicine. And so the band Tea Party is selling its domain name because, frankly, this is not much fun anymore for them, and the internet is supposed to be fun. Domain names, in fact, can even and should maybe even be fun. We own several at this show, including one about the Republican presidential candidate whose name cannot be Googled but is spelled Rick Santorum. Texas Governor Rick Perry missed the chance to buy his most natural domain name, rickperry.com. Somebody else bought that in 1998. So instead, the candidate of the Texas economic, quote, miracle, end quote, Mr. Free Enterprise, has to campaign out of rickperry.org. Like he's a branch of NPR or something. Today, the Washington Post reports on some other Rick Perry-related domain names that Rick Perry apparently does not own, including StickItToRick.com and BarryPerry.com, AmericansAgainstPerry.com, ChristiansForRickPerry.com, not to be confused with EvangelicalsForPerry.com, or certainly with ChristiansAgainstPerry.com. Also, there's simply RickPerryNot.com, which takes you to a website that is all about how Rick Perry is not a conservative because he signed a law creating a Gestapo-type pet police. I must have missed that in the history of the Gestapo. It is signed by a guy who describes himself as a dog breeder. But like the other anti-Rick Perry websites, that last one was bought anonymously, so it is hard exactly to know whether the dog breeder guy is really the person who's running it, knowing it. The Perry campaign tells the Post that the campaign did not buy these sites. Same goes for Mitt Romney's team and Barack Obama's campaign team. National Democrats are proud to say that they own this site, though, whichmitt.com, where you can take a quiz on the ever-changing positions of Governor Mitt Romney. So the internet is supposed to be a little bit fun, at least this part of it. You can see why a band named Tea Party would want to get out its own domain name, get out of its own domain name here. I mean, it's $1 million, yeah. You can't really figure out who they are. When we went looking today, we found this new Tea Party video, which seems to be about, well. Shaking as the sex takes hold, I've lost all control. I am the wrong audience for this. It's so much like when Spinal Tap got booked for mistake to play the big dance at the military base. Remember that? And they went into that song, that's their Spinal Tap song, Sex Farm. So we're trying to make the connection between Tea Party, the band, and the Spinal Tap thing. So I went to look for that song to see if it was like I remembered. And here it is on YouTube. And because the Spinal Tap Sex Farm song is popular, a little ad pops up while you're watching the YouTube. And it's this ad. Governor Chris Christie stands with Mitt. Will you? Paid for by Romney for president. And coming right out of David St. Hubbins' mouth, working on the sex farm. Who says Mitt Romney's a somewhat robotic politician with awkward social skills and very little understanding of the younger generation, no matter what era we're talking about? He doesn't just sponsor a Spinal Tap video on YouTube. He sponsors Sex Farm. Oh, targeted internet advertising, which seems to know people better than they know themselves. You have provided the best new thing in the world today. Chris Christie, Mitt Romney, David St. Hubbins, Spinal Tap, Sex Farm. Show it again. Best new thing in the world today. Quick, time for the Ed Show.